Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to give you a complete tour on my drum microphone setup. This is part one out of two videos, where first I'm going to show you what microphones I'm using and their placements, and then in part two, I'm going to show you what each microphone sounds like. So guys, stick around to the very end. I promise you there's going to be one microphone placement that you've never seen before. So let's jump into it. Let's start off with the close mic. So here I have set up a kick out mic. So this is placed about 6 inches away from the front of the bass drum head. And I'm going with a SM57 condenser mic. And the cool thing with this is that when you put a condenser mic this close to a bass drum, because of how loud it is, it's going to come in hot going into your interface. So this mic has a built-in pad switch right on the mic, so you can attenuate the volume going into your interface to avoid any clipping. And also it's got a roll-off switch, so if you want to tame any of the low end, maybe you're using this mic on an acoustic guitar and you just don't need so much body, you can just roll off that low end right at the mic, so it's really handy. You'll also notice that I have no kick-in mic, and that's because lately I've been triggering a sample inside Pro Tools after the fact. So I like to use a sample and then blend that in with the kick-out mic. And I'll show you a bit of that in part two, so stick around for that. Moving right along, we have the Sennheiser E604 on the tom. So we got one there and one over there. So these are both dynamic microphones. Very nice. They come with a mic clip, so it's gonna free up some of the floor space. You don't have to use another stand. And they got it pointing at the center of the drum to capture the stick attack. And I like to place a moon gel just underneath the mic, just to control some of the overtones coming from the drum. A little bonus tip when you're placing your tom mic, if you want some more stick attack, just get it a bit closer to the skin and point it at the center of the drum. And if you back it up, you can get more of a rounder tom sound, so a little softer attack. All depends on what you're going for. Next up, we have drummer's best friend and maybe only friend, the SM57. So we got that on the snare top, the snare bottom. And in terms of the placement, we got it just above the rim, pointing at the center of the drum, but also has a view of the rim itself. So in the samples that you'll hear in part two of this video, you'll notice that I'm playing a lot of rim shots. So this mic is gonna capture that, but also capture the stick attack by placing it at the center of the drum. Here's a better angle of the snare bottom mic. Nothing too special going on here, just point it at the wires. Get it about 1 to 2 inches away from the wires and listen to your recording. If it's too rattly, then you're gonna want to back the mic up from the drum and you'll be good to go. All right, so this is one of my favorite microphones to use on a drum kit, and specifically the way it's placed. So you can use any dynamic mic. This is an SM7B. You see this a lot on podcasts and vocalists using it. It captures mainly a nice mid-range, a very clear mid-range. So that's why I've chose to use it on the snare drum here. So I have it placed just above the bass drum, pointing at the center of the shell. So you're gonna get a bit of bass drum, a bit of toms in this mic, but we're mainly looking to capture the snare. You'll see in part two how I process this mic and then really bring it to life. So here we have the stereo overheads. These are a pair of AR5 Art ribbon microphones. I believe that they're discontinued now, but I'm sure you can find them somewhere on the internet. And the way I have them set up, they're 4 feet from the snare, pointing away from the snare, and mainly capturing the cymbals and toms. And I have them set up on a dual microphone bar. So that's gonna allow me to put up 2 mics on one stand. Again, freeing up that floor space, which is awesome when you're in a small room. Previously, I used to use a mono condenser mic, very bright in comparison to these ribbon mics. These ones are more natural, dark sounding, and ambient because of their polar pattern. All right, so this is where things get fun. This is the first ambient mic out of 2 that I'll be showing you guys today. This is the Apex 210 ribbon microphone. I believe that they've revamped the mic, so it looks a bit different. I think it's like a darker blue now, and they might have changed the model number. But anyways, I have this placed about 5 to 6 feet away from the drums and about 1.5 feet from the floor. And you'll notice here that I've actually pointed the mic away from the drums and placed a baffle to cover up the mic. So the idea here is to eliminate the direct sound, have the close mics capture that, and to bring out the ambience in the room. So no matter what, if you're in a dry or tight space, or if you're in a livelier space, you're gonna capture mainly just the ambience. So I'm really excited to show you guys what this is gonna sound like. So stick around for part 2. Let's go for a little walk just outside the studio. And there it is. Last but not least, this is the second ambient mic in my drum setup. This is a Bluebird condenser mic. I have this placed just outside the studio, as you can see there. And again, I'm pointing the mic away from the drums to eliminate that direct sound. This is basically gonna capture all the ambience in this hallway, and this gets blended back into the kit, so you can really take a dry drum sound into something that's big and open. All right guys, so there you have it. This is the current setup that I'm rolling with. I encourage you to also do the same in your space. Play around with different angles and different placements. Put a microphone in a hallway, put a microphone in a corner. You never know what kind of sound you're gonna get, so that's why it's so exciting. Question for you all, is there one microphone placement that you're definitely gonna be trying out? If so, leave a comment below. And if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you on part 2 where I'm gonna break down what each microphone sounds like. So I'll see you there. Peace.